The student-led movement in Bangladesh forced Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to resign and leave the country on August 5, 2024. Now, how do you view this development in the context of Bangladesh's political history?
There was a movement in July-August. There was a demand for quota reform in the government job system, and as a students organization, Bangladesh Students League, the ruling party Bangladesh Awami League and the government, they played a significant role to fulfill the demands of the students. As it is a judicial process, Awami League take every necessary steps to fulfill the demands, and it is Awami League, it is Sheikh Hasina who actually abolished the quota system in 2018. And as it is in the appellate division, government lawyers, they applied for the appeal for the students' fulfillment. And also Bangladesh Students League, that we engage in policy advocacy. We demanded to the government, we organize protest, rallies, assemblies, because we are committed to the rights of the students. We are committed to the fair treatment in the job employment. And we also arrange such sort of programs like door-to-door campaign to get the views of the students about the quota reform system. So actually, government fulfilled the students' demand. Bangladesh Student League also played a significant role, but the main aim of the movement is using the movement for the own purpose of the fundamental and other opposing political groups. So in cover of the movement, they actually that they prepared for something big like ousting the government, and for this reason killings have been happened, students have been attacked, and they did this by their by their militant cadres, and by doing this actually they paved the way of that toppling the government. And if we see the current context of Bangladesh, so what is the outcome of the situation of the 5th August event? Right now, Bangladesh is totally a that fascist state, because who are in power, they are not elected by the people. They do not come in a constitutional process. They do not have any sort of legal basis. They are totally undemocratic regime. A self-proclaimed government is running the country. Another thing is that Bangladesh previously is played vital role in fighting against terrorism, extremism, and fundamentalism. And Bangladesh is now is totally under the the fundamental political wings, other terrorist organizations who do not believe in constitutional democracy or liberal values or a competitive democracy. They believe in Sharia law, they believe in extremism. That was their main agenda. So Bangladesh is undemocratic in one sense, and Bangladesh is also in a fundamental state right now. Our economy has been collapsed. Women are become the victim of the situation, moral policing, mob attacks, the attack on the minority peoples. Bangladesh became, and the law and order situation right now in Bangladesh, there is actually no law and order situation. It is a totally lawless state right now. There is no that the independence of the judiciary. Government directed the verdict of the court. Whatever the government demands, the court is ready to fulfill that sort of demands. Government is saying that these people should get bail or not. They are changing the previous verdicts. They are doing whatever they want, and so judiciary is right now in Bangladesh is a that you can say it extension of the executive actually. And also in regard the freedom of press, freedom of assembly, freedom to protest, the situation that the media is totally controlled by the government right now. You only valid opinion in Bangladesh right now is the government's opinion. You have the only liberty if you support the government. The supporting government is the only option by the government right now. Journalist, the journalist has been harassed. They sent to the prison. Their jobs has been curtailed as per the wish of the government. So actually, this is the total scenario of the government, and the fascist Yunus regime. They are using the state machineries for doing their personal business, that the consolidating the power, and any political party can be elected and govern a country, but they are actually unelected, undemocratic, and they are proclaiming themselves as the ruler of Bangladesh. So it is actually a disgrace to the people of Bangladesh, I think.
Your organization has been banned and designated as a terrorist group by the Bangladeshi government. More recently, even the Awami League was banned. Now, how do you respond to these actions by the interim government led by Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus?
It is one of the proof the how fascist this government is. That Bangladesh Awami League, uh, uh, it is the creator of Bangladesh actually. It lead the independence movement, democratic movement, movement against the military rulers, and that other than the 15 years of military rule, more than 80% times Bangladesh Awami League is elected by the people of Bangladesh. So it represented the majority people of the Bangladesh. That Bangladesh experienced economic transformation by this political party. Our every sort of, whether it is human index, millennium development goals, sustainable development goals, per capita income, GDP, reserve, that the youth employment, job security, industrialization. In every cases, Bangladesh Awami League played the role, and Bangladesh Awami League, that it believes in the core values of the liberation war, which is that the democracy, which is a fight against discrimination, secularism, liberal democratic values. These are the principles of Bangladesh Awami League. And by banning this party, this government is unmasking itself that this is actually a fascist regime. And another reason of banning Bangladesh Awami League, and also they banned Bangladesh Students League, that their fear of the protest, their fear that the people will rise, people will have their voice, and people will reclaim over the country. This is their voice. So they are also afraid of the ballot. They are trying. That they banned one of the largest political party in the country, and they said about fair election, inclusive election. So actually, they are afraid of ballot boxes, and also by doing this, that this is not only a decision against a political party. They actually disenfranchises the people of Bangladesh, because if you banned the most promising, most popular political party in a country, you are actually shut down the window of people's choice actually. Another thing is, that as Bangladesh right now is a fundamental state, is that it has a huge network with the international terrorist organizations who believes in Khilafat, who believes in Sharia law, who have their relationships with other terrorist organizations with the country. So they, that they thought Awami League as a threat to their dream of making a Khilafat. Awami League is challenge for them. Because Awami League believes in secularism and in democratic values. Awami League fight against terrorism. So that for making Bangladesh a safe haven of terrorism, for making Bangladesh a breeding ground of fundamentalism, and for making Bangladesh a harbor of terrorist activities, they banned Bangladesh Awami League. And another reason of banning Bangladesh Awami League, that they are trying to be in power whatever they want, whatever they wish. This is the only government in the world maybe who does not know about their duration actually. So that to enlarge their power, to make their duration more, they banned Bangladesh Awami League. But it is true that they do not. This is a government which itself do not have any sort of legal basis. So I think this decision is totally illegitimate. This is against our constitution. This is against the democratic norms of Bangladesh.
The Chief Advisor has announced that national elections will be held next year. So, do you believe that the elections without the participation of the Awami League can truly be considered meaningful or credible?
No, there is, that election is not priority of this government actually. This is just a state-sponsored drama, just by, that they will use this for their own purpose actually, because they banned Bangladesh Awami League, Bangladesh holds all sort of fascist characteristics. There is no a chance of the people have their own choices. So the election is a first. I think the election is. If you are saying about election, you are banning another political parties. And if you see the current situation in Bangladesh, as per the report of Human Rights Watch, more than 3,50,000 people has been arrested and took to the prison in last 10 months. In last month, in every day, more than 1,500 people got arrested and had been taken to the prison. So this is the actual scenario, and I think Bangladesh, the people of Bangladesh, they are waiting for the people's representative. They are waiting for the constitutional rule. They are waiting for the democratic representative to govern the country. So, if that considering the current context, if you are saying that you are going to do elections and it is without Awami League, it is actually an omelette without egg, or you are staging the famous drama of Shakespeare, Hamlet, without the Prince of Denmark actually, and also. You are not liable to the people's right, to the people's voting rights, people's civil liberties, people political rights, and you are saying about election, those things, reforms. It is actually that just to divert the concentration of the people, I think. And if you think also the other matters, that an election, if you want to have an election, the government must be capable of doing that. This is such a government which have no control over the law and order situation. Which is Bangladesh is totally lawless country right now. Women cannot play football. They are getting threatened by the fundamental groups. They cannot give the security of the women. They cannot give the security of the minority. They cannot give the security of the opposing voices, and they are saying that they will do elections. So I think this is actually not possible, and for restoring democracy in Bangladesh, we have no other options other than the removal of this current fascist regime, and this is the priority of the government. Another thing is, that what is doing, what are the works of the current government. If you see the works of the chief interim government, Professor Yunus, that he himself declared himself as the interim government chief, and that they ignoring all sort of ideals of conflict of interest. He is the chief of the government, and he himself exempted from the cases that are against him. He, that he himself exempted more than 666 crores taka, which was 660 crores taka tax exemption. He got himself by that, and he gives himself to his Grameen digital wallet for digital banking. He himself that give license to his universities, to his new business models. He is representing Bangladesh, and he is doing business with Starlings. Whenever he visited the other countries, he never played a role of the government chief, rather than he played the role of a executive officer of his private businesses. That the previously Grameen Bank and other banks have 30% government share. He curtailed it, and right now Bangladesh, the government has 10% share, and he himself is the interim government chief. So actually, he is using the state machineries for his own personal agenda. Restoring democracy is not his priority. Election is not his priority, and he himself is a threat to democracy actually.
Despite the significant political upheaval in Bangladesh, the international community has largely remained silent. Why do you think the world is not reacting more strongly to these developments?
I hope the government, I hope the world will have their voice also, because there must be a wake up call for Bangladesh, because right now Bangladesh is a breeding ground for terrorism. There are gross human right violations cases in Bangladesh. And there are so many things are happening in Bangladesh, which is inconsistent with the universal goal declared by the organizations, other governments. One of the thing is who are reigning power in Bangladesh, as they are yeah, as they are as they are giving patronage to the fundamental groups. So it is ultimately a threat to the regional stability, peace, and harmony. International terrorist organizations are, that they are doing their meetings, they are having their view exchange programs in Bangladesh, they are doing their trainings. That Pakistan's ISI, which is infamously involved with this terrorist activities, they are having their works, meetings with the other organizations who are convicted of many sort of terrorist attacks. They got the government blessings. They are having their meeting with the interim government chief. And that the women empowerment, inclusive society, and also championing the human rights is one of the priorities of the world and the liberal governments all over the world. So right now, what is the situation in Bangladesh? Bangladesh is actually the so-called Nobel laureate, he himself preaching peace outside Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is in a stable position where every people is feeling threatened, every people's life is at risk. He is outside, he is saying about democracy, about liberal values. But in Bangladesh, if you have any dissenting voice, if you have any opposing voice, actually you have no right to live. You have no right to stay in Bangladesh. For protesting, for having their own views, for having their own political beliefs, for trying to do advocacy for the human rights and other political rights. Every people is becoming a victim of the current regime. If you see the situation, as I am a student representative, right now in Bangladesh, more than 5 lakh students, for just being a activist of Bangladesh Students League, for just being a follower of Bangladesh Awami League, for just being supportive to the ideology of liberation war, for just having liberal values, for just that doing advocacy for secularism, for inclusive society, they cannot participate in the classes, in the examinations, they cannot go to the exam halls. So right to education is totally threatened in our country, and many students, they, for whatever reasons the government may know, they took them, they are that they are also attacked by the fundamental groups. There are incidents of mob attacks, and there are for baseless cases, for no reasons they took them out of his home and take them to the prison. So this is the actual scenario. Most of the students, more than millions of student activities who are connected with the our party, they that they cannot remain in their houses, they cannot do their usual jobs. They are all times threatened by the government machineries and other fundamental groups supported by the government. So this is the actual scenario. So I do believe that the world, there is a wake up. There must be a wake up call for democracy in Bangladesh. The world must listen to the voices of the people of Bangladesh. The repressive regime of Bangladesh must come to be an end. Justice must be maintained, and fundamental human rights must be restored, and fundamentalism sponsored by the Yunus regime must be, must be totally eradicated from our country. Other than this will be a serious security challenge for the peace and regional stability of South Asia. There will be many sort of events for terrorism all over the world, and the women empowerment for the women's rights will be totally at danger, and women will become a target of moral policing for that they won't have any sort of rights, whether it is education, whether it is living, whether it is political freedom. So this is actually the situation in Bangladesh, and the people of Bangladesh are fighting. The people of Bangladesh are trying to have their voices. The people of Bangladesh are trying to come back, and the people of Bangladesh is against this, the fascist regime, and the world is obviously responsible to be on the side of the people.